What's up, everybody? It's your boy Mason Deathblade here. Welcome back. I know this is a little different, way different thing. I don't know if you guys can even actually hear me, but if you can, first off, welcome to my Let's Talk series. We're going to just hop into it. We're going to talk about it. Today's episode 1. Today we are talking about what inspired me to be a Christian hip-hop artist and who inspired me to be a Christian hip-hop artist, or even to just be an artist in general. So let's start with the details. So starting back in the beginning, back in 2014, I'd been introduced to Pokemon rap, and at the time it was like peak for Pokemon in 2014, and we was this was middle school, 2013, 2014, midway around there. I was in middle school. Shout out to my OG homies, talking about Eli, talking about Antoine, talking about Billy, talking about Jamal. All four of y'all was the homies back then. I appreciate y'all. I don't know if y'all ever see this video, but y'all were real OGs back then. And y'all, Antoine, actually, you can check him out. Link to his channel will be down in the description below. His YouTube is Ep.1. Antoine actually showed me this Pokemon rapper by the name of Shofu. And he's more of a secular kind of rapper, but that's kind of what piqued my interest in rapping. And I was like, okay, like I was starting to get to know him more, and I was like, okay, yeah. Again, this was before I gave my life to Christ, so I'm gonna get into that in this video as well. But I just I don't know. When I first heard the Pokemon rap, I was like, man, maybe I could do this too, you know what I mean? Not necessarily Pokemon rap, but rap. So I started my freshman year of high school, and we were reading Romeo and Juliet, Shakespeare. And it kind of piqued my interest. I was like, well, maybe I could write poetry, you know? So I started writing. Not knowing where it would go, not knowing what would happen, but I started writing. And I was like, yeah, okay. So if poetry is just kind of rhyming but putting your heart into it, what if I add a beat to it and make it music? That's that process. Hear me out. It's going to keep going. Just listen. So I dabbled in music here and there, and I dropped one song years later. But I don't know if you guys have ever heard of SoundCloud. So I dropped a few, like, I guess raw stuff on SoundCloud. It wasn't necessarily cursing because I didn't curse in it, but I dropped raw stuff that I wrote and just kind of put it on SoundCloud. And kind of made a little name for myself, using a little bit of the Pokemon rap in that in high school. And I was like, well, I don't really want to do this, like, because I hated the, like, curse words that were in it, and I was just like, I can't do this. Like, it felt wrong in my spirit. And again, this was before I fully gave my life to Christ. But I went to a church in Lehigh Acres, Florida, called New Life Assembly, with Pastor Jason Gross as the youth pastor. And he had introduced me kind of to Christian hip-hop, which I had no clue existed at all. Mind you, I was like 14, had no clue this genre of music existed. I was stuck listening to secular music. I was listening to Eminem. I was listening to Futuristic before he gave his life to Christ. I was listening to Devon Terrell. I was listening to a whole bunch of other secular artists that were just not right for me, you know what I mean? again, like I said, Futuristic just recently gave his life to Christ and started making Christian music, which is great. I love it. So I get to listen to him again. But the first song I heard was Robot by Triple E. Um, and in the chorus, it's I'm not your robot, I'm not a clone, right? So you're not a robot, you're not a clone of the world. In other words, he's saying that, I am not your robot, I am not a clone. You are not my puppeteer, I am not a drone. So he's saying that, you know, he's not of the world, he's of God. So he's not worldly, he's godly. Now, when I first heard that, I was like, wow. I was like, I gotta look into this. I was like, I gotta find out who Triple E is and everything. So started listening to his other music and everything, and stumbled across Lecrae, and then it kind of just spiraled out from there, and I was just down this rabbit hole. It was only 4 years later, in 2018, when I would fully give my life to Christ. April of 2018, I fully gave my life to Christ, but that's a whole nother video. I'm going to do my testimony in another video. But from 2014 to 2018, those 4.5 years, I was intertwining secular and Christian music, which was not a thing you should do. I stumbled across NF, which got me, kind of sparked my inspiration, because it's like, hey, wait a minute. Now, this was the time where NF at first kind of came out, and this was his second album, which was Therapy Session, because he'd already dropped Mansion, but when he was starting to release Therapy Session, and people were like, oh, it kind of sounds like a Christian Eminem. No, he's not related to Eminem. No, there's no correlation there. But in my mind, I was like, yo, this is awesome. And that's when I started writing more Christian-like songs. I discovered NF in 2015, which was in the middle of Mansion, getting closer to Therapy Session. I might have the dates a little wrong. I'm sorry. I don't have a script, so I'm going off my head. I'm sorry. All this is unscripted. I'm just going off of what's in my head and my heart. So, but I would say NF was a huge inspiration on what led me to start writing Christian music. That's when I really started putting the pen to the pad and started writing. I wrote a song back in 2015 called "Let You Down," and I have it in my notepad. That's a song I'm probably gonna release sometime this year. It's no, it's not "Let You Down." I recently wrote "Let You Down." The song I wrote in 2015 was called "My Life," and it took me from 2015 to 2018 to fully write the song "My Life," because it kind of goes throughout my whole high school life. So I don't know. So NF inspired me to be a Christian hip hop artist. I fully gave my life to Christ in 2018. My first official song dropped in 2020, I believe. I'll have a picture of it somewhere right here, of when I released Dear Uncle. That song actually was a tribute to my uncle who had passed away in 2017. I had wrote the song, I'd pondered on it for years. If it was 2020, it was 3 years after he had passed, which I think it was. I think I did release that in 2020, because 2021 I dropped Lost, and then I dropped Hurt, and then the rest. So again, I really started. Now, when I dropped Dear Uncle, like I said, it wasn't professionally done. It wasn't mixed and mastered. It wasn't none of that. So it was more of, I need to get this story out. I need to let people know what I've been doing and what I've been dealing with. So when Dear Uncle dropped, it was not professionally done. I do have a Dear Uncle Part 2 that'll come at a later date and time. Um, but that's kind of what inspired me to do Christian hip hop. And then obviously all the traumatic events I've been through in my life. Hence the song "My Life" that's coming out later this year. Look forward to that. So yeah, NF inspired me, and I don't know. I wouldn't say I was raised in the church because I've kind of been in and out of the church a lot. Ironically enough, I'm recording this in the church that I attend now. So if you notice this locally, you know where I'm at, you know what I'm doing. But yeah, that's kind of about it for episode 1. I didn't want to make this too long, but I just wanted to kind of give my little story of what really inspired me and who and what inspired me. So Antoine, back in 2014, inspired me to start dabbling in rap. And then as time progressed, when I came across NF in 2014, 15, somewhere around there, that's kind of what kind of pushed me further into that, and I dabbled on it for a few years, wrote a few songs here and there. And then I released, like I said, I released Dear Uncle in 2020. I released Lost in 2021. And then for a whole year, I didn't release any music at all. And then I dropped Hurt, Overrated, Invincible, Who Am I? There's a whole catalog. Y'all go check it out. I don't know why I'm explaining my songs. But I hope you guys did enjoy the first episode of Let's Talk with Mason. Again, my name is Mason Deathblade. I am a Christian hip-hop artist, trying to make it, trying to do what I got to do for the Lord, and just, I'm here. So I hope you guys do enjoy. If you could, please like, comment, and subscribe. Comment questions down below. Each question is a topic for the video. Again, my name is Mason Deathblade, aka Nick West. If you guys know who I am, you know what I do, you know where I'm at. That's up. That's it. I love you guys. Stay blessed.